Ito, we shall intensify, mainit talaga ako dito. I place it in parity with drugs. We shall intensify our war against human traffickers and illegal recruiters that prey on our migrants. To help ensure that the hard-earned money of the Filipinos overseas are put into productive use, a mandatory financial education for all migrants and their communities will be pursued with intensive courage and entrepreneurship among them. I may now also ask on Congress to consider drawing up bills consolidating and merging agencies and offices having to do the overseas Filipino to have a department that shall focus on and quickly respond to the problems and concerns. Kailangan mo ng isa. And I have asked, I don't know, Secretary Bello is here, Bebot. Wala. Absinero talaga yan. Kasi sa cabinet absinero yan. Gusto ko, he will rent, will lease some buildings near for overseas only. At lagyan ko na i-direct all BIR, lahat na BIR, lahat something to do with the clearances of the police in one building, may booth lang. I said, my God, make use of the computer. So doon lang siya mag-ikot sa isang building. Ang Pilipino, di na siya magpunta doon sa statistics, di na siya punta doon sa dyan sa office niya. Gamitin ninyo ang computer and you can get the results right after. Why do he has to travel to Malate, then he has come with the traffic? He can only accomplish one document at one time. In BI clearances, doon na ninyo bigay. Lahat na doon na. At kung dapat may awa o sibilyo, pakainin niyo yung mga tao doon. Lalo na sa probinsya. Pag tingin ninyo taga-probinsya, finish it right away. Make use of the computer. O pag hindi nyo ginamit, tapon na lang ninyo. Throw away your computers, and I understand that. It would take you years to do it. Do the computers. Taas mo na, wala na yan. Ito, to help avoid squatter-like conditions in relocation sites, we urge utilities like Meralco and electric cooperatives exercise their social corporate responsibility by making direct connections to relocation sites and depressed areas. Alam mo kung bakit? Hindi na nilagyan nila dyan eh. That's why I had to talk to you ganito. Bakit? It's because walang kurente pagka mahirap ka. You do not own the land. The city engineer would not. That is my experience, 23 years as mayor. Hindi magbigay ng direct connection. Kasi hindi ko may-ari ng lupa. But that squatter there has been there for 20 years. So mag-connect sila. Pagka-connect nila, ang gamitin nila yung wire na, yung pinakamura. So it overheats because connect na lang sila kung sino yung minsan magnakaw. You know, we will have to make the adjustments. It is not for these people to make the corrections because they are not in a position to do it. We have to adjust to the needs of our people. Total yan naman yung squatter na yan. As long as I sit there as president, there will be no demolitions without relocations. Hindi talaga pa yan. Hindi naman aso yan na, just like in Davao. I'd like to make a dialogue with the businessmen. Sir, how much are you investing in this land you have bought with the squatters? So I bought it at about, what, 60 million? Dagdagan mo ng 20 million. So, ako na ang bahala. Sabihin ko doon sa mga tao, bili tayo ng relocation site or I will provide. Government will expropriate. I will make use of the expropriation powers. Okay, ako ganun sa Davao eh. I have 20 hectares there. I will expropriate some land there. Yung malapit lang. Then sabihin ko, this 20 million will help your journey to a new land. And I will urge everybody na yung mga bagong mga factories, doon sila magtayo. Magtiis-tiis lang muna kayo. In the meantime, you have to mitigate the hardships of these people. That's the only way to do it. Pero yung sabi, demolition, walang matirahan ng tao. Total, you sat on your rights for many years. Bakit mo ngayon pipilitin mo ako makaproblema ng ganun? May iba kasi hinahayaan nila for 10, 20 years, they do nothing. And when the time comes na pagbili lang nila, tayo ngayon disturbuhin. O di gumastos ka, para mas madali. Just add a little bit more. And there will be at least peace. Pag hindi, wala yan. Fight na naman yan between government and the tawag nila squatters. Squatters man talaga yan. Masasaktan lang, mamatay for no reason at all. Kung mayaman ka, bigyan mo naman ng kunting provide a relocation, and I'd be glad to talk to the people and say, go, it is not yours. I have directed the concerned regulatory agencies to prioritize the issuance of required permits for power development. Okay yan sa akin. Ang problema, sandali na to. Para ka dyan. Yung mga environmentalist, meron tayong kasi marang yung coal, pati itong energy emissions. Wala man akong problema dyan. But do not tell me na if you basta doon ka tapos sabihin mo sa akin na medyo hanggang lang dyan kayo kasi kami hanggang dito lang kami. Kayo umabot dyan, you are now in the apex of your industrial might. But along the way, you were the first, America, China, Europe, kayong bumbabugaw. Until now, we contribute only something 0.0. So if you put so much restrictions doon sa treaty na yan, the treaty which we are trying to, it's still here in the Senate, let us be very clear on this. We need to industrialize. We need the power. And therefore, the emissions would also be considered. You just can say if I establish 5 economic zones here, and you start to say that you're spewing so much carbon footprints, mahirap yan. I mean, it's hard. I cannot just agree on anything that will delay. I'm only good for 6 years. And tend to do something during my term. Now, I'm sure that the heavy machineries would come in, and even the power. Cheapest is coal. So ito naman locally, you get into trouble with Gina. So we'll just talk sa cabinet na lang. Si Gina naman is a very fine lady. Huwag ka lang magsimangot sa harapan yan. Bigyan kanya permit baski 5. Magsimangot ka 0. All that she is to do is just be gracious to her. That's all. It's a matter of talking and explaining to them. But if it is you're using the state-of-the-art technology, and I've seen it several times in the other power plants in this country, if it is really a good one, then we will consider. I said, because we need the energy to power our industrialization. To strengthen delivery of social services, the government will intensify its protection programs so it can use its resources and expertise to make a dent in the country's poverty levels. What we want is genuinely to reduce the vulnerabilities of our people, build resiliency, and empower individuals and families and communities. The beneficiaries of our peace shall be made to become independent and self-reliant after they have graduated from the program. But as it is, we aim to present them with other forms of assistance so that they can stand on their own 2 feet. But now, I have decided to direct the DSWD to provide the rice subsidies to the poorest of the families, at least para makakain lang every month. Ano yan, sako na ano? We are planning to increase spending on basic education and incorporate mandatory education about the evils of drugs. We will also intensify and expand alternative learning system programs. The government will also provide universal health insurance for all Filipinos. Benefits. Sali na lang natin sa PhilHealth. The professional competence and operational capabilities of government hospitals and health facilities will be strengthened. Consistent with our international obligations in keeping with national mandates, this administration vows to protect women's rights and human rights abuses against our women because it is unacceptable to bugbog ka ng babae. As I order all agencies and oversight bodies and local government units down to the barangay level to fully implement the Magna Carta for women. By doing so, we will ensure that man and woman will be partners in the pursuit of country's economic, social, and cultural and political developments. To our Lumad brothers, and they are here outside, maybe outside. I mean, they're outside, I'm sure. I told the secretary just to let them come if they want. Kanila man to. To our brothers, I have this to say. The government has issued you the ancestral certificates to win. Title covering vast tracts of land, especially in the island of Mindanao. You have the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act and the National Commission of Indigenous Peoples to protect you and to assist you. Government has given you the tool, the legal tool to improve yourself financially, economically, and socially. Make use of your ancestral domain. Do not let it remain idle. While the government is always ready to help you, you must first help yourself. We cannot legislate financial and economic progress for you. It is you and you alone who can do that. You can chart your fate, but do it within constitutional and legal means. After being devastated by natural and man-made calamities these past few years, we are still to recover emotionally from the loss of our loved ones and materially from the loss of our homes and our income sources. There are many among us whose emotional wounds are still fresh and painful to the touch. We cannot erase the images of death and destruction from our minds. We cannot wash away the stench of rotting flesh from our noses. And there are many of us who are still waiting for the help that was promised. The enormity of the problem of drug addiction has been made manifest by the number of surrenderies which grows by the hundred each day that passes. Since July 1, we have already made 3,600 related drug arrests. 120 drug dependents have already surrendered, and 70,000 of them are pushers. You think this is just a it could take the entire resources of this government to fight this war. I have nothing but the interest of my country. But in its wake, because the PDEA says that that was a statement made by the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency. 2 years ago, PDEA came out with a statement that there are 3 million drug addicts in this country. That was 2 or 3 years ago. How do you think would be the number incrementally if we count now? Give it a liberal addition, maybe, lagyan mo na 7,000. So 3,700,000. The number is quite staggering and scary. The drug lords that you desperately want to strangle are not here. Wala mga bilyonaryo dito. The ones that you catch running after are just the lieutenants. They do it by technology. They're cooking it in the international waters. Tinatapo nila yung bulto by the drums. Dikitan nila ng GPS. So makikita ka. We are hard put sa intelligence because they've invented this direct satellite. Hindi na magdadaan niya ng... All they have to do is to triangulate where the pag-ikot niya. And there are so many... And they're in codes. If we do not help from our friends here in Asia and America and Europe, this sheer number and problem, believe me, will drown us as a republic. Kayo, tingnan niyo po. How can I solve the problem now by arresting? Hinahanap ko, tagal na akong presidente. Gusto kong patayin. Ang problema, pupunta pa ako doon, then I'll ask the permission from this country that I will go on because I have to slaughter these idiots for destroying my country. Ganun yun eh. Hindi lang kasi naintindihan, ayaw pa naman bitawan kasi ayaw naman kasi ng military pati police. But you know, I said, I'll be talking in front of the Republic to its representatives, to the people. So I have to tell you, how do we solve this problem? Tell me. Ako naman okay lang eh. Make it public, fine. Make it confidential. If you go to me or go to you, to your house, okay. But that is really the enormity of the problem. It's so enormous that you are intimidated even just to make a move. Because you know you cannot stop it anyway. Mabunggo mo isa ditong hinulog sa dagat, eh marami naman nagluluto doon. It's a free for all the enterprise for the criminals at this time. Kung ako, if I had just the plan, I couldn't have. Sabi ko sa military, pag nakita ninyo, pasabugin mo na. Baski nag-surrender dyan ng may white, white flag. Panggira lang yan, hindi yan pang-kriminal. Pasabugin mo. Show no mercy to them because they are not doing any mercy to us anyway. Bakit ako yan ang problema. But we should not despair. Like someone wrote, it is when the night is darkness that dawn breaks. We are imbued with resiliency that has been tested and proven. More difficult times as in the past. We have a bond to act together. We have to help each other, for then and only then can we truly prevail. And this is the Filipino, disciplined, informed, involved, shall rise from the rubbles of sorrow and pain, so that all the mirrors in the world will reflect the face of a passion that will change this land. Daghang salamat.
On the part of the Senate, the joint session is adjourned.
On the part of the House of Representatives, the joint session is adjourned.